Those things are quite good, but that is not the core of what masculinity is. You do all those things in service of another thing. Those are what we would call instrumental goods.
Ben Shapiro, who was on the Chris Williamson podcast, talking about what masculinity actually is.
What do you wish more young men realized?
What masculinity is. There's been concerted movement on the right to treat masculinity as lifting weights, having sex, and driving awesome cars. You can do all of those things, and I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I think in their proper context, all of those things are quite good, but that is not the core of what masculinity is. You do all those things in service of another thing. Those are what we would call instrumental goods. They're not inherent goods. They're things that are designed for another thing. You lift weights so that you can be strong, so you can stay healthy for your family. It's an instrumental good. It's not an inherent good. You're not inherently more virtuous because you picked up weights. And in the same way that earnings, right? Your income is an instrumental good. You're not inherently a better person because you have a higher income. The same thing is true with regard to sex. Sex within the context of a committed marriage, which is designed to foster love between you and your spouse, and yes, to make babies. It's also an instrumental good that is designed toward a higher good, which is the maintenance of the marriage, which is why extramarital sex, for example, is bad. The more I just live in the political sphere and the philosophical sphere, the more you realize that everything is reactionary. Everything is reactionary.
Arynne, it's kind of interesting because Ben talks fast and he sort of sounds like a mouse, but he is right about all of that. And I think that gets to why you're always calling these guys low T soy betas, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, Ben is so smart. That's why people hate him, because he's actually right about a lot of things, and people don't like to look in the mirror and see the truth. And he's also actually calling out the right a little bit there, which is interesting, and I think it's deserved. But on the left, I actually think that's why Doug Emhoff, Tim Walz, these guys are such losers. And that's why the left likes them, because there are so many losers in this country. Like, we refer to them all the time, like these mentally ill, fat-nippled freaks. And they look at Tim Walz and he makes them feel better about themselves. He validates their loser existence. Whereas JD Vance shows you, yeah, you could grow up dirt poor as a hillbilly, and you can go to a great law school, work in venture capital, have a movie made about your life, and then become the VP pick. I mean, that makes these losers feel badly about themselves. And on the right, that's something we aspire to. We look up to that. But the left just wants tons of excuses. Like, oh, Doug Emhoff smacked the woman he was dating in the face, and has this freak child that that knits as her living. Yeah, that's relatable to me, and that's why the left likes it, and that's why they hate JD Vance.
Phoenix, I think we filed that clip under harsh but true for the archives. Emily, bring us home before we show you one other clip of the Walz family.
Okay, I was literally about to say, I think your partner should be a huge reflection of who you are. And I don't know much about Tim Walz. I don't need to. I know the way he treated people during COVID. That's really all I need to know is you as a person. As soon as you get a little power, how much you abuse it. But that's what weak, feminine men like him do. His wife is a freak. She's a freak. She talks to the voters like they are children. I would be insulted if Trump went up there and talked like that. But like I said, they're very dumb, but she is weird.